Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. How are you today? As I have promised, it is my turn to choose one country and then to explain to you all the tourism ethics in that country and some tourism objects that you may consider to pay for a visit. Okay, let's begin. I have chose the US as the country that I will explain. I'm going to share my experience about what you can and cannot do in the US and some tourist stops you may consider to pay a visit. Actually, everything is allowed except what is forbidden in the US. So, in this video, I will explain only the don'ts, in which outside of the don'ts you may do that. Okay? The first don't is don't touch the Americans. Why? Because Americans like personal space. Don't be too close. It is very uncomfortable for them. So space is key. The second, don't count on the public transportation except in the big cities like New York and Chicago. You may go around by renting car if you want to, but if you go to New York or Chicago, please don't drive or park, because if you drive it is very chaotic, and if you park the price is insane expensive. Try to use the public transportation because it is pretty comfortable and the system is awesome. The price is also fair. And the third is don't underestimate the size of the US. It is different with if you go to Europe, in which at one time you can go to another country, but US is very large, so wherever you go you are still in the same country, so it's very large country. The fourth is don't think that the price you see is the price you will pay. You need to also pay the sales taxes. So it is different within Indonesia, that if you want to buy a thing, then what is on the price tag is the price that you need to pay. It's different because in the America, the taxes is not written in the price tag, so you need to be prepared to pay more than what is written. Different product, different sales taxes, different anywhere you go, so just be prepared. The next is don't forget to tip. So it is actually different culture with in Indonesia. You know that we rarely give tip to any service, but if you go to the US, don't forget to give tip, and usually Americans give 15 until 20% as tips. If you go to a restaurant and then you want to give tip to the waitress, try to count that at least you must pay 15 until 20% of the price of the meals that you buy. The next is don't smoke in the US. It is totally forbidden because they think that if you smoke you will kill their baby. So try to find a correct place to smoke. Then don't buy alcohol until you are above 21, or don't buy cigarette until you are above 18, because you need to show your ID card. Next, don't bother with the metric system. So Americans are familiar with miles, pounds, feet, inches, and yards. It is different with perhaps the other country, including Indonesia, in which we use kilometers, centimeters, kilograms. So don't bother about that. Next one, don't talk about gun control and politics unless you want an argument. Talk about the other things like weather or the other stuffs, culture. Next one, don't assume all of the US and people in the US are the same. Rich of difference, rich of differences you will found in the US. Go out and explore different region, different fear. Don't say the US has no culture. It's a little bit rude. And then don't feel bad if someone asks you how are you but they don't wait for an answer. Why? Because for them how are you is not a question. It is a statement means hi and they will not waiting for your response. The 13th is don't skip out eating local food. So if you go to Chicago, try to buy and enjoy the local food in the Chicago, and if you go to New York, try to enjoy the local food in the New York. And then don't get sick while you are in the US because the cost of healthcare is very high. So make sure that you keep your body healthy when you go traveling to the US. Okay, those are the don'ts that you may consider not to do when you go to the US. Now I would like to share my experience when I was there, and in this video I will only share three objects. The first one is the bin. The bin is located in Chicago. It is pretty close with the place where I studied. So what is actually the bin? The bin is a work of public art in the heart of Chicago. The sculpture, which is officially titled Cloud Gate, is one of the world's largest permanent outdoor art installations. The monumental work was unveiled in 2004 and quickly became one of the Chicago's most iconic sites. The bin is located in Millennium Park, the lakefront park in Chicago's downtown loop. The bin's reflective surface was inspired by liquid mercury. The shiny exterior reflects the people moving around the parks, the lake of Michigan Avenue and surrounding skyline and green space, perfectly encapsulating the Millennium Park experience. Who actually designed the bin? It was designed by internationally acclaimed artist Anish Kapoor. The Indian-born British sculptor was already well known for his large-scale outdoor works, including several with highly reflective surfaces. Cloud Gate was his first permanent public outdoor work in the United States and is widely considered his most famous. Then, why is it called the bin? While the piece's official name is Cloud Gate, Anish Kapoor doesn't title his work until after they're completed. But when the structure was still under construction, renderings of the design were released to the public. Once Chicagoans saw the curved, oblong shape, they quickly started calling it the bin, and the nickname stuck. Here are the photos of the bin. So it is actually very awesome. You must go there if you go to the United States. The second one is the US Capitol, which is located in New York. One thing you definitely cannot miss in the New York is US Capitol. The United States Capitol, or often called the Capitol Building, is the home of the United States Congress and the seat of the legislative branch of the U.S. federal government. It is located on Capitol Hill at the eastern end of the National Mall in Washington, D.C. So no longer at the geographic center of the federal district, the capital forms the origin point for the district street numbering system and districts for quadrant. Okay, and the last one is Michigan Lake, Chicago. I could tell that Michigan Lake is very beautiful. So um, the lakes is just beside the very big and modernized city. So you can feel the atmosphere of being modern but very close to nature. That is Chicago. One thing that you definitely cannot miss while visiting Chicago is the lakefront path. Whether you're walking, running, riding a bike, or visiting one of the beaches, it's pretty remarkable to have lakefront access amongst a gorgeous city skyline. If you're not familiar, it can be pretty tricky to figure out how to cross Lakeshore Drive and get to the beaches or the lakefront trail. There are pedestrian tunnels under Lakeshore Drive at Chicago Avenue, Oak Street, Division Street, North Avenue, Fullerton Ave, Diversey Ave, and many more. I think that's all that I can say and share about the United States. If you still have many questions, you can just send me direct message. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.